All right, good evening. Sunday, June the 14th. So it's been a long day. It's roughly about 8 o'clock at night. We just got the kids in bed. I've been out in the garden since 7 o'clock this morning. I did have a break in there for a bit, but let me show you what's going on out here. So first off, we had weeded down to here between the peppers and the beans. So I picked back up with weeding here between the beans and the Brussels sprouts, and then worked my way all the way down and up in here on these peppers as well. So got all of this weeded. We went through and pruned and staked all of the Brussels sprouts. So there's 3 stakes in a triangular pattern holding up each one to help support them, and then I trimmed up quite a few of the leaves underneath to let them concentrate on the Brussels sprouts as opposed to concentrating on the leaves. So we did that. After I got done weeding, and actually before we did the Brussels sprouts, we took a break and went to town because we had a birthday party. So our oldest has a summer birthday, and 2 of her classmates also have summer birthdays, so we did a joint birthday party. While we were in town, we stopped and picked up fence panels. So I picked up 2 16-foot fence panels and then cut them in half. So there's equivalency of 1 panel up there and another panel up there. So I finished off the tops to the bean trellises. The beans were actually getting up to the point where they were up past the first and starting to climb up the pole in some cases. So we got the other pieces of trellis and got those up. We did the Brussels sprouts this afternoon after we got back, and then I also went down and I put some twine, there you can see it, around part way up on the peas just to help pull them in towards the fence panel trellises. So I did that on all of the snap peas, and then I pruned up the tomato back there as well. Our squash is running wild. We also have a volunteer plant in here. We're not sure if this is acorn squash or if this is pumpkin. We're not sure, but we're letting it grow. We've got some kale in here as well. So there's some red Russian kale, and there's a few more. There's a few more red Russian kale over here. So these are actually volunteers from the microgreens when I dumped the trays out here. This squash out here, this is all of our acorn squash that is coming out. Quite a few of these. I think it's this one here has quite a few blooms on it with squash, and if you look right down in there, there's a nice big spaghetti squash growing there. And let's see, Samantha said there was another one up over here someplace. Oh, yep, there it is. There's another good sized one in there. So yeah, we're gonna have some spaghetti squash, it looks like. There's another one working on in there too. So back up here, give you another overview. Pretty good sized garden, but you know, this is what it takes. Primarily all of this is going into our own feeding the family, as opposed to being sold. So this is Most of this will get, peppers will get cut and froze. Beans will get canned. Brussels sprouts will get frozen. Beets will be turned into pickled beets. Peas, the snap peas, if we can get them in the house and actually do something with them as opposed to them making them to the mouths, will be frozen for like stir fries. Still working on squash as to what we're going to do with it, if we can freeze it or somehow keep it. We're not 100% sure on that yet, but we'll see what happens. But again, this is food for us for the most part. So all right, well, I'm gonna try to go in the house and do a little bit. I don't know how much I'll get done. I've got in the house, I've got some work to do. I need to clean up the one hydroponics tote and get that moved over out of the seed starter. And then from there, I need to clean up some microgreens trays and start getting them ready, because this week now we will need to plant for the egg tour farmers market that we're going to be doing, which is kind of a specialty farmers market that we've been invited to, along with basically all the rest of us from the farmers market. We're all being invited out to that. We accepted. They're doing some special advertising, doing some unique farm tour type stuff, and then have a big meal at the end, where we're going to be having a farmers market at. So I think the other thing is I need to pull some rainwater out of our rainwater collection system here and water some plants. We went and got some butterfly weed and planted that on the side of the house to spruce up the side of the house a little bit more. So I should probably water that after we planted them. We had gone and just planted them tonight, so the kids had tried to water them, but I should probably give them another good drink here so that they can maintain. So all right, I think with that we'll call it a night, and we'll check in with you later. Have a good one.